Hey everybody, it's zjayfi here. I just realized it's been almost 4 months since the last raid build update that I did, and figured it was time to do a new one. I've been doing a whole lot of Dark Hours raids lately, so I'm going to show you a whole bunch of Dark Hours builds. But also I'll walk you through the changes to anything that's changed with the Iron Horse builds as of lately. Obviously they're always changing, always improving. These new versions are going to be vastly superior to anything I posted 4 months ago, because we've learned a lot since then, and we're much better. This is just a standard DPS raid build. It uses the TAC 50. I like the TAC 50 because I like the additional weapon handling. I don't particularly care for the TAC 50 as a weapon itself. Not much more to say about this other than that it's a pure DPS build. It's a M1A with boomerang, an eagle bear. The pistol is a skill tier restrained pistol. I never pull out my pistol anyway, but here's a little trick. If you switch to your pistol, then you throw your reviver hive at your buddy to pick him up, and it picks him up, you can go over and pick up your reviver hive and then put your pistol away. So you're combat ineffective for about 25 seconds, but it's a free res for your buddy, and you'll still have a reviver hive for yourself. So that's why there's a skill tier card custom pistol in there. I use Grupo Somber Mask, triple god rolled, glass cannon, Cheska chest piece. Also will be triple god rolled when I get enough mats to do that on the recalibration station, or the optimization station. I put in 2 pieces of Sokolov, and I'm going to explain this in just a second. I've got Sokolov backpack with vigilance, triple god rolled, Sokolov holster, and the triple god rolled contractor's gloves, triple god rolled Fox's Prayer knee pads. So if you use 3 pieces of Providence, you are getting you're getting 10% headshot damage or 15% headshot damage as your first brand set bonus. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that if you use 3-piece Providence here. But I do not have a triple god rolled Providence backpack. I have like 14.5, 8.9, 5.8. So I would much rather go with this, and I've still got the critical hit damage, right? I've got the 15% critical hit damage that I would be getting from Providence, 3 pieces Providence, right? So what am I missing from the Providence brand set? 10% crit chance. It's right there on the chest piece. So my stats are 53.7 and 199, and 53.7 and 198, almost 200% crit damage. But I also have multiplicative damage, damage to target out of cover, multiplicative damage to armor, and multiplicative glass cannon damage. So that's pretty standard Dark Hours build. That's what all 8 people should be wearing that, with the exception of this is a build for Weasel. It's basically adrenaline rush. It's not adrenaline rush, it's intimidate. It's intimidate with vigilance backpack. Got Grupo Cheska for the crit damage, crit chance bonuses. Got Fox prayers for this, so that hits harder. And then you got the Coyote's mask, because you're going to be right up in his face, so you want that 25% additional crit damage. So when you're right up in Weasel's face, you'll be up over 200 some crit damage, but then you'll have 40% additional weapon damage when my buddy procs Vanguard. So I'll really be tearing him apart. You can face tank Weasel. Anyway, that's that. This is the new Vanguard build that you need for Iron Horse. I don't use this one in Dark Hours. In Dark Hours, you just slap on a Vanguard chest piece and an all red build, throw on a shield, because everything's DPS in that raid. But I use 4-piece Foundry Bulwark. I use armor regen on everything. Got the Murakami armor regen knee pads in there. I like the backpack because this is all about keeping yourself healthy and having the most possible armor so that you can give it to your team. I found out you don't need the shield health mod. Even if you put in the shield health holster, the forge holster, it only goes up to like 15 or 16 million. It's not really worth it. You're better off running something like the additional armor regen, or something that gives you a brand set bonus like the the second piece of Gila. No, not the, you wouldn't want the second piece of Gila. I don't know what else you could put in there other than the Murakami knee pads. I'm sure there's something, but yeah, I don't even worry about the weapons in this one. I use the crossbow. I'm not even sure. Oh, because like if you want to do the heavies at Morizova's train, you can snap the guy with the crossbow, but I never bother. Or you could throw a fire grenade at him, I guess. I always just smoke him with this pistol, the strained skill tier pistol. That's pretty much it for that. 4-piece foundry bulwark is the key to all that, and I use protection from elites so I can face tank that train. That, you know, when you're standing out there waiting to put the key in the train, you could take some heavy damage. I mean, so heavy even so heavy even the Vanguard set struggles to keep up. Okay, Boomer. This is not for kiting, Boomer. This is for keeping a door pinned down. So like if you're working burger, you're working donut, you're working 43 door, you just put your turret right in front of the door, and the turret's not going to do a whole lot of damage, but what it is going to do is proc in sync, and in sync is mega damage. So between the turret and the 20% it will get from in sync, and the 30% it will get from in sync, and the 30% that you will get on your rifle from in sync, you will absolutely melt people coming out of the doors. That's a good way to pin the doors. I've also got a nice custom P416, although this doesn't seem to hit as hard as I would like it to. Even with in-sync fully proc, this does not hit as hard as you would think it does, and so I'm thinking about swapping this out to something else, but this is absolute, just liquefies people as they come out the door, especially if they get trapped in that tamper-proof. They get trapped in the tamper-proof shock, and then they're just, I can headshot them, and they go down really fast. Okay, moving on. Let's see, Iron Horse. This standard Iron Horse build that I use. I have Companion and Unbreakable in there. A lot of times I hot swap that out to something else. I'll, you know, when as I'm in the raid. But this one is basically for babysitting Morozova, because when I'm babysitting Morozova, I'll have the fixer drone up all the time. It's nice to have Unbreakable because you're running all over the place in front of that armored train. It can be very difficult to survive, especially in phase 3 when the train goes apeshit. It can be really tough to stay up. So this is what I use to babysit Morozova. I do use it in other parts, like I said. Like sometimes I will hot swap to the sacrifice. You know, if it's an easier part of the raid, like Tarmac, or if it's Lieutenant Gray, something like that. I'll also hot swap to other backpacks like the Providence Vigilance, if I'd rather have that than Companion, depending on where I'm at. Let's see, the Raid Medic. Raid Medic, I like the Opportunistic in there because it's more damage for the team. So I've got 25% team damage when they're at full health with the Future Initiative chest. I've got the Opportunistic, so that's 10% multiplicative that I can use. This one has Future Perfect, but it doesn't really matter what you have on it. You want to use the crossbow because 15% or 10% more damage to status affected enemies. I can apply a status effect with a burn grenade if I want to, then hit them with the SVD, gives 10% multiplicative, so that's 20% toward the heavy. I can also overcharge my team's hives back, and I can one-hit melee people with the Sweet Dreams. So this is a standard medic build. Even some of the people I've been raiding with outside of the clan and on some of these speedrun teams, they've been specifically asking for Opportunistic. So I think Opportunistic is the new standard for the medic to have, because that way he's contributing to the team damage, but he's also giving everybody 25, maybe 35% if you status affect whoever it is. So like at Lieutenant Gray, as soon as he starts jumping down off that train, I instantly start crunching my hive, right? So I'm going to overcharge everybody's skills. Then I can throw one of these at him and give everybody 10% to Lieutenant Gray, and then I plunk him with this. And so while my healing, and then I throw my overcharged healing hive back out to keep everybody healthy. So everybody's got 25 plus 10% multiplicative plus another 10%. That's 45% team damage right there that this medic gives. as well as keeping everybody alive. It's a nice build to have on the team. Let's see, Overwatch. I use this one at Razorback. As you can see, there's no Reviver Hive. What you do is you just deploy your skills right in front of where the enemies spawn, and as they come out, you can absolutely liquefy them with In Sync. I've also got Spotter in it. So that's 15% multiplicative. The reason I don't have Glass Cannon in there, which I think I am going to put Glass Cannon in there, is that I didn't have a whole lot of experience, and I didn't want to go down and make everybody have to come pick me up a whole bunch of times, but I think I am going to put, because I ended up surviving pretty well with this. This does a shitload of damage, especially when In Sync is fully procced. Once again, I feel like the M1A is better than the custom with In Sync. I don't know if this one's glitched or malfunctioning or something, but I just don't feel like I'm hitting quite as hard as I should. Although, I guess I could try the capacitor and stack up skill damage. I don't know. Yeah, this one could use a few tweaks. I think I'll just put Glass Cannon in there and take my chances. But anyway, the key to this one is that these skills have to be deployed right in front of the enemy spawns. And then you just wipe people as they come over with In Sync. Crossbow raid, this one is exactly the same as the first one that I showed you guys. It just has a crossbow. So that we can blast the grates off of Razorback. 100% hazard protection. This is only for one small section of the Iron Horse raid. It's 3 pieces 511, 2 pieces Cheska, 1 piece of Yawl. And the most important thing is that you have hazard protection on all 6 pieces. That's the only thing that matters. You have to have at least, I think it's 96% hazard protection in order to get, I have 97.2. You have to have at least 96% hazard protection, or 95, might even be 94, I can't remember, it doesn't matter, in order to get full immunity from the foam at the foam section of the raid, where you stop Morozov's armored train. You can set this up any way you want, as long as all your pieces have hazard protection on them, and you have these 3 combinations of brands: 1 piece Yawl, 2 Cheska, 3 piece 511. That's the only thing that matters. Everything else can be set up however you want. Let's see. This one I don't use in the raid very often. I really only use it at what's his name? Captain Feisler in the smelting room. But this is a new version of it. I used to use 3-piece Hardwired, but now I'm using 3-piece Empress. 3-piece Empress is way better, because instead of having 15% skill damage from 3-piece Hardwired and losing 2 attributes, now I have 20% skill damage, because I've got skill damage and skill efficiency, which is 10% skill damage. Skill efficiency is 10% skill damage and 10% skill haste, 10% skill health, and 10% repair skills. So it's better. It's way better. Because now I instead of having only 1 attribute on 3-piece Hardwired, I've got 2 attributes across the board on these pieces. The only problem I have here is that this one has repair skills on it, and I want to get skill haste on it, but no worries. So my cooldowns have actually gone down by 1 full second each, and I have more damage. This is a great new gear set. You should absolutely add this. If you're running 3-piece Murakami, or you're running 3-piece Hardwired, switch to this. As soon as you get the pieces, switch to this. This is way better. Cooldowns are lower, additional attributes from the Hardwired, more damage. It's a win-win all the way around. Oh, and this thing is freaking awesome, because now you got weapon damage. You get 7.5% weapon damage. For each yellow skill tier, which is awesome. And then you get stacked up skill damage with it as well. Opportunist, I use this for Lieutenant Gray. Sometimes if we're not doing the medic, well, I used to use it for Lieutenant Gray. I can't remember what I do with this now. Sometimes I use it at Weasel if they want somebody to run. I don't know, it's just a good build to have. It's Glass Cannon, with 3-piece Providence and opportunistic Providence Vigilance backpack, Providence mask there, Providence holster, and then the 2 typical damage to armor, damage target out of cover. It's just got a shotgun and a in-sync rifle with a turret. It's good for Weasel. It's good for different situations. It's good for Tarmac. Anyway, that's opportunistic build. You can use that one in the raid. Demo raid is the same as the one I showed you guys earlier with the Tag 50 and the crossbow. Just this one has demo. Something that I learned lately is it's much faster. If instead of having 2 crossbows and 2 people throwing grenades into Razorback, you just shoot it with a demolitionist, and you can literally have the machine opened in less than a second, because the second that guy hits it with the crossbow, you just bam with your demolitionist and the machine opens right up. So it's a much quicker method. So I have this build so in case I'm ever called upon to be the demo guy. All this stuff is situational. And then I have Weasel Spotter. This is the same build as the other one. It just, instead of Adrenaline Rush, I have Spotter in it and the Technician Spotter drone to proc it. So instead of getting 40% Adrenaline Rush damage, say there's nobody on the team running Vanguard, instead of the 40% Adrenaline Rush damage, I have to settle for the 15% multiplicative from Spotter. But that's plenty. Just will take a few seconds longer to kill them. That's it. So anyway, these are the raid builds that I use right now at the moment. They've been pretty well updated. You really only need one build if you want to clear dark hours, and that is this one. I use it all the same. The only thing that you have a choice in is if you want to run what specialization you want to run is the only thing that would make really any difference. This is the build you want. Whether you run it with 3-piece Providence or you do 2 Sokolov and 1 Cheska, that's up to you. The ones that are not optional are the Contractor's Gloves and the Fox pair of knee pads. That multiplicative is so powerful. You're going to want a piece of Grupo Sombra in there for the additional crit damage too. Glass Cannon, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. You can use Obliterate, you can use Spotter, you can use whatever it is to give you, but it's got to be damage. You want damage talents. Vigilance is pretty much best in slot for backpack. Companion is okay because it's always up rather than coming down when you get shot like Vigilance does, but I have a really nice Vigilance backpack, so I like this one. You can absolutely tear chunks out of Razorback with this. So this is your Dark Hours build right here. If you want to run Iron Horse, you need 3. You should have 3 of these builds. One of which is the Vanguard. The other one is the Raid Medic. And you're going to want a specialized DPS build for Iron Horse if you're going to babysit Morozova, because you want to run a little bit more survivability than this. This is just bare bones damage with no regard to survivability. This one is geared for survivability to babysit Morozova at the train. Now, if you're just running, if you're at Morozova and you're covering a door, then I would recommend something like this. You get your tamper-proof chest on, those enemies rush out the door, they get shocked, your turret lights them up, your in-sync kicks in. This would be the way to go there, you know, if you're keeping them pinned at the doors. This is what I would use. But there's plenty of other options you can go with. These are just the ones that I use at the moment. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you can take these builds and figure out how you want to set up your raid build. And at least now you know what you need. Dark Hours is all DPS. Oh, well, let me show you one more thing that I've forgotten about. For Dark Hours, you do need one other build, and that is a anti-drone build. Only one person needs it. What it is it's 4-piece hardwired with any kind of skilled chest. I have one to give additional damage to the Harmony in-sync rifle, the Overlord Armaments one, and then you need the BTSU gloves. And I'll explain to you how this works. Okay, so when the drones come out of Razorback, you jam them, right? I've got a 17.4% or 4-second cooldown on the jammer pulse. Well, obviously the next set of drones is coming out in about 8 seconds, if that. So hopefully skilled will bring back my, because I got skill kills, I have a 25% chance to reset skill cooldowns. There's 4 to 6 drones per wave, so hopefully that works and it brings back my jammer for the next wave. If it does not, all I have to do is throw this down on the ground, and then I'll get the jammer pulse back. If failing that, for some reason it does not work, or there's more drones out and my 10-second hardwired cooldown hasn't come yet, I also have overcharge. If I really need to, I can crunch that hive and then I'll instantly get this back. So I have 3 ways to get that back. If for some reason I'm unable to, I miss, I can't overcharge and I've done miss by hardwired, with the backpack, it's 10 seconds for the feedback loop. So 10 seconds is the longest I'll ever have to wait before I can get this back. But that would be a pretty bad scenario if for some reason I couldn't jam within 10 seconds. But it's never happened because this is very, very consistent. Usually skilled will bring your jammer pulse back. If it does not, you just drop this at your feet or pick it up or break it down for overcharge and you'll get this right back and you'll be able to jam all the drones at Razorback. That's it. It's a piece of cake. I like to use Technician in this because the 15% damage to enemy electronic proxies will really, really make a big difference. If you set it up with any other specialization, you're going to have max skill damage on all 6 of your pieces, and you're going to have 6 yellows. I like mine set up the way that it is. I've got 1 red in there, so I've got additional damage to Razorback. I've also got additional weapon damage from In Sync. With the bleed hive, some people run it with the healer hive. I like it with the bleed hive, so I've got at least a little bit of offense. I throw the bleed hive at somebody, now I've got 40% additional damage to the bleed hive on top of the tier 6, plus 40% additional rifle damage. I can use it to help kill ads. I can use it on Razorback. This is how I have it set up. So thanks a whole bunch for watching. Hope you guys got some good ideas of how to set up your raid builds. Have a great day.